first and foremost, we, as my wife said, alluded to this earlier, she has a degree in international business and I'm a doctor of chiropractic. So when we looked at the industry of network marketing, we didn't look at it as most people would. Unfortunately, in the industry, most people buy a product, or they're sold a product, or they're sold a service, and they never see the individual again because they've earned a commission, or they've hit a rank, or they've hit a promotion. And so it actually gives a lot of people a negative association with our industry. My wife and I, we saw it as a profession. We saw it as a career. Now, if you look at any career, careers have levels of education. So what we did is we created a system. We created a system 22 years ago, and we formulated the system and we refined the system over and over and over by our own experience, by our own trial and by our own failures and successes, to the point where we created a system that works. And we package this system and we train this system. If someone tells you that being a professional network marketer, and there's a big difference between a network marketer and a professional network marketer. If someone tells you that being a professional network marketer is easy, it's probably because they've never experienced it before. Because it's not easy. It's like saying receiving a bachelor's degree is easy. No, it's not easy. It's possible, it's tangible, but it's not easy. It's like saying, losing 50 pounds is easy. No, it's not easy, but it's tangible. Becoming a professional network marketer is tangible for everybody, but it is not easy. It takes training. It takes reassociations. It takes forgetting some of the things that we've learned, learning new things, right? So the way we did it was, first and foremost, we said, we're never going to ask anyone in our organization to do something that we've never done. So for the first 3 years, we did work 7 days a week, 14, 16 hours a day. We did pound the pavement. We did knock on doors. We did make the calls, because if I stand up in front of a group of people, I want you to know that I'm authentic. I want you to know that this is the real deal. I didn't just read it off a paper. I didn't go to a seminar. It's not the new and improved thing. This is from experience, that I can tell you that when they open that door, when they get on that call, when they return that message, I'm telling you, if you say these things, you're going to elicit a reaction from them. And upon their reaction this is what you're gonna say. So we went to work. And second thing that we did is we began training. So our normal week in Youngevity was Monday morning, 8:30, we had basic training for everyone. We did it live in front of a group of about 100, 150 people. Then we're on Facebook with maybe a couple thousand people every Monday for 8 years. Then Tuesday was basic leadership for everyone. Same venues, 100 people in front of us, about a couple thousand people on social media. Then Wednesday was advanced leadership. Same thing, except now advanced leadership was for the people that were in the higher rankings, 4 and 5 stars. And then Thursday, I introduced them to the science of neuroplasticity. I've been studying neuroplasticity for about 22 years. And that is the ability to really change your genetic expression, right? To really change your DNA, to really go in and through certain technologies and certain methodologies and certain meditations, really transform the way you think. Because if you think different and you feel different, the result's gonna be completely different. And that's a very, very exclusive class to people that are making maybe $20,000 to $30,000 or above. And we've been doing that faithfully for 8 years. So that is the day in and day out and day in and day out. So when someone says, oh, 600,000 people, that's pretty good. No, it's pretty extraordinary. But there's an extraordinary work that comes, and there's a sequence and a systematic approach. So anyone can do it if they're willing to follow that sequence and follow that system.
Something special that stands out to me personally as being part of Youngevity is Youngevity really became like the song "The Wind Beneath My Wings." They really did, because Youngevity is really a champion of women. Our COO, Michelle Wallach, and Steve Wallach also, they really champion women. And network marketing, of course, there's no glass ceiling here for us women. And so for me personally, in all of our businesses, Louis has always been the front man. He was a doctor, I was administration. In our own company, he led the field, I ran operations. He would always say, I'm the actor and you're the director, right? And everything in our life just kind of how it happened. And so when I got to Youngevity, And even though we had experience in network marketing prior to that, I never presented, I never spoke, I never trained until I got to Youngevity. And it happened because Youngevity started pushing me forward. At Youngevity, I found the most amazing, organic, clean line of beauty with organic products. And I had started using clean products 21 years ago when I was pregnant with my first son, and I learned that whatever I put on my skin, 20 seconds later was in my baby's bloodstream. So it wasn't like I learned about natural beauty. When I came to Youngevity, I had already pursued that for the last 15 years. But when I came to Youngevity, I found the best I had ever found. And then I found Steve and Michelle, who were passionate about creating a platform for women and giving women a space to thrive in. And so for me, it was really the push of corporate, of Steve and Michelle, that they were like, okay, Velia, you're gonna do this presentation. Not you and Dr. Lewis together, you are gonna do this presentation. Okay, Velia, we want you to do this training. Okay, Velia, you're gonna be the voice of this. And they really projected me forward. And at first I was like, okay, I've never done this. I was scared like anybody else that was new to network marketing. Lewis is gifted. I mean, he's anointed. It's a different level, and it doesn't happen by osmosis. Like, it doesn't get great. I didn't become a great presenter and a great speaker because I'm married to one. I had to go and do the work too, work that I wasn't used to doing, and be with my kids and run the family and do all that, because it's a lot easier to be in the background and run your home than to be in the front also and run your home. So for me, Youngevity gave me a greater belief in the gifts that I had, and they said, you are individually, you're different than Dr. Arriaza, but that individuality, we want to see it come through, and we want to project it, and they felt that it was a great example for other women that what they can do. And so Youngevity gave me boldness, and Youngevity gave me confidence in what I believed that was important and how I wanted to grow this business, because we're men and women, or everybody's different, and just because we all follow the same system and we all have the same products, right? But we follow the same system, but you blend in your own gifts and your own way that you connect with people. And that's what Youngevity did for me. They were like, let's go, Avelia. Like, you need to be in the front.
And if I may, that's a very humble perspective. My wife has given a breath of hope and inspiration to tens of thousands of ladies that maybe they heard her on the radio as they were washing the dishes. Maybe they watched a commercial of her on TV, and it is unbelievable some of the women that have come into our business and have transformed things that you would see some of these women today, and you would say, I can't even fathom the thought that she used to clean a home. Nothing wrong with cleaning homes, but the way they carry themselves, the professionalism. No way, I cannot believe that she would, clean hotel rooms. Nothing wrong with cleaning that. Everything that we do can have dignity, right? And there's a purpose within everything. But you just look at someone, you're like, there's no way. And that's because she took the time and had the desire. And when I say to transform, I mean, she would do coaching on how to style your hair, how to put your makeup on, what utensils to use when you go to a fine restaurant, the detail. So she's the superwoman in our organization. We use the terms of the Avengers. She's Black Widow and Wonder Woman all wrapped into one.
No, but thank you. Well, my mother was born in a ranch in Mexico, and she only went to, I think, first grade. She taught herself how to read and write by finding newspapers in the city. And so she's really smart. She just didn't have the opportunity of education. So I've always been really driven to not waste opportunity because my parents came to this country at a sacrifice. And I've been given, I feel, things like on a silver platter compared to them. And so I wasn't gonna let the sacrifices that they made to ensure that their family was in this country and had opportunity go to waste in me. And so my mother doesn't till this day know how to cut meat properly. I cut it for her. And so when I was 18, I worked for the city of Baldwin Park, and my boss took me to this big fancy city dinner thing. And I sat there and there was all these plates and forks and glasses, and I didn't know how to use them. I'm like, what is all this for? You know, growing up, to me, eating out was going to Kentucky Fried Chicken because they had tables. So I felt like, wow, we're really going to dinner tonight, you know, going to Kentucky Fried Chicken. So what I did is I sat there and I watched him, what he did first, what my boss did first, and whatever he did, then I did, because I didn't know what to do. And I didn't like that feeling. I felt less. Those were my own thoughts, right? Nobody made me feel less. Those were my own thoughts. But I didn't like to feel incapable. And so what I did is I had a friend who worked for the Ritz-Carlton, and I asked him for the manual that they trained the servers with, because the Ritz-Carlton is the standard of hospitality. And so I trained myself with the manual that the Ritz-Carlton trains their employees. I read it because I did not want to feel that way again. And so in network marketing, you know, we attract people who are professionals or have this high etiquette and they're sophisticated. And we also attract people like me who didn't know how to use a fork and a knife and, you know, 3 glasses. What are all these things for, right? What's a small spoon there for? And so I feel like I want to do that for somebody else. You know, I want to help someone else because I remember how I felt. And so part of becoming a professional network marketer is, you know, you do have to elevate and polish some of your skills. And so that's where my desire came from, to share with the team how it is that you should dress yourself professionally and how you should eat at a table when you're presented with all these options and just many things like that. Because I remember how inadequate I felt, and I didn't want anyone else feeling that way.